Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hookin and Stitchin.islandstyle. If you're watching the replay, I'm Antoinette, your hostess, coming to you from Deer Island, New Brunswick, Canada, located in the Bay of Fundy. I want to welcome all returning Fiber family members, new Fiber family members. If it's your first time here, oh, sorry, hold on a second. I had to mute. I had to go mute. I apologize. Anyways, click the subscribe, the bell, and all. It's free. And come join, have some fun, join us in the lives, and see. So I thought I'd come on today. Not a scheduled, it's a pop-up live because yesterday I worked on the ferry and it was a very rough day. And after a week of the flu, I was not my best. I literally threw up twice on the boat, which I don't do very often. Welcome in, Doris. I don't do it very often because I have pretty good sea legs, but it was exceptionally rough yesterday. The wind was unbelievable. Rain, snow, wind. It was just miserable. 12 and a half hours of just back and forth and rolling back. It's like, oh. Then I had to clean the bathroom. So if I come on for an hour, we could chit chat, talk about a few things. What are you working on? How's the weather where you're at? And stuff like that, and catch up. And as you can see, there's a difference here. Everything's kind of changing in the craft room. Let me know how the audio is because my microphone is just on the desktop. It's not on the boom arm because I'm still setting up stuff. I've got a ring light over here, and I've got lights over here trying to get some light. Got the tutorial table set back up. I put a video out this morning about the upcoming tutorials for this year, and they're going to be knitting. It's not to say I won't throw a crochet one in here, crochet one in here and there. If I'm doing a technique, like I've done a few crochet tutorials, but mainly knitting. I showed the book. It's right here beside me. And I put the poll out. So tomorrow morning, I will count up the votes for which section you want me to go to. The only one I left out was edges and trim. Pardon me. I figured that's welcome in, Lorraine. Welcome in. I figured I would wait till later on after we get some skills going on because there are some stitches in this book that are new to me, new types of ribbing, new types of texture stitches, and I'm going to learn right along with you on some of these. Now, before I do my tutorials, I always sit there and work a little swatch up. I go over the pattern, the chart. I don't use charts per se. I always use the written. I am working on welcome in, Denise. Welcome in, dear. More Mandy, welcome in. The set of Celtic fingerless gloves I had showed you, the 22 stitch cable section is chart. I said I can do charts, I can read charts, but I'm talking slow at reading charts and keeping my place where I'm at. So I might take the time to sit there and write that 22 stitch repeat out, and it's on the odd rows that I'm welcome in, Dragon Cat, that I'm doing because every other row, the even rows are knit what you see. If it's a knit, you knit. If it's a purl, you purl. So I'm working on that, and I'm working in two colors. So I just went on to the second color, got 2 rows of the cable stitch pattern done. Excuse me. But I've got water here and coughing. Still got kind of crud from yesterday. So that's what I've been doing. But go check the post out. Vote on the poll so we can see because there's a lot of people that used to be crocheters. They're knitting now. I mean, Darlene's knitting a beautiful sweater, and some other people that had started, doing some knitting that want to do socks and what have you. And I love all my fiber crafts, whether it's knitting, crocheting, Tunisian, broomstick, and stuff. And through all of this, I am working on the hashtag work the whips. And I've got some big projects that are going to be in the next month or so done off the hook, off the needles. That is the broomstick lace. And on my lap here is my Fairhaven. Now the joggers I've got to do. Yeah, I do that too, Lorraine. I've done it before too. So like I said, I'm up in the air, but it's one of those patterns that you got to pay attention to. It's not something like, I can take to work, or, watch TV. I got to sit and be able to concentrate on, that's one of the things where I'll put YouTube on, sit in my craft room, and let that play in the background and work on my pattern. But I'm trying to get these big projects done. Now, Cable Crush joggers, they are done with the exception of the pockets. And Kathy, as you guys all know, I play poker with her. She's was the first one I met when I moved to the island here, and we became very good friends. She's the one that got me back into knitting and crocheting. Told me try picking up the stitches rather than making a patch pocket and then sewing it to the pants. Just pick up the stitches and see how that works, because they're worked from bottom up, and then along the side there is a cable. That's where the Cable Crush joggers come in. And then later this year, I'll cast on the matching cabled hoodie that goes with those. But right now, I want to get 3 or 4 of these projects done. They're big projects that are going to be done. Like I said, I've started a couple small projects for Christmas gifts next year that I can work on. A pair of fingerless mitts, and sweater scarf that I showed you. I started in Australia for Vicky. That's for her for Christmas next year. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, solar flare update. Hobie, welcome in, Demetra. Welcome in. Demetra, your package is on the way with your yarn that I forgot from the auction. So let me know when you get it. Lorraine, your mystery bag. Welcome in, Suzanne. Okay. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you. Lorraine, your mystery bag sitting here. I'll be doing another mail out beginning this week. My members' boxes are sitting there. I did find them. But I'm going to combine their Valentine's and Christmas together. So they're going to have a late Christmas coupled with Valentine's Day, and it's just a little something. I have another box I've got to get out to somebody, a box of yarn. Welcome in, little sis. Welcome in. So like I said, I've been trying to get a lot done. Again, technically, I'm semi-retired. I work on the ferry when I want. Okay. I do have 4 classes scheduled to teach over the next couple months. But really, so I'm trying to concentrate on doing things for the channel. We're on road to 4,000 watch hours. Hopefully, my goal is by August. I'm like a little over 500 hours away. By August to hit that 4,000 watch hours. Welcome in, Nessa. Welcome in, dear. So we'll see. It happens. It happens. It don't. It don't. Welcome in, Golden Age. Welcome in. And I've been working on a sort of like, and again, you can see the ring light in my glasses. I apologize. I'm going to try where I can put it where it's not so bad, but if I take these off, I can't, everything's just a blur in front of me. So I apologize. I'm trying to get a little better lighting here. Again, let me know if the audio is okay, because like I said, Yeti is just sitting right here on the desk. It's just sitting right here on the desk. Oh, thank you, Nessa, you doll. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Well, like I said, I for the last week or so, I didn't get a lot of content out. Again, I spent 2 days in the bathroom. Nobody would have wanted to see me anyways, because it was miserable. And then Wednesday I was busy all day with stuff for the Chamber of Commerce. And then Thursday was running around, and then what else I was doing. And then Saturday I had to work. So, and when I work the day before I work, it's everything's kind of scattered, catawampus, because I'm trying to get things done before I go back to work. Laundry. I had to go gas my car up. There was something else I had to do. I forget. It was something else I had to do. Thank you, Nessa. Okay, I'll check it. Well, I'm going to have an eye appointment on the 30th, because I had an appointment Tuesday, but I called them up Tuesday morning and said, you really don't want me in your office because I'll get everybody sick. And I told her I had the flu, and she says, no, we don't want you here. Back. Congratulations, Nessa. Congratulations, my dear. I'm so happy for you. Again, type type drop your link. If you haven't subscribed, or go check these people out, go show the love, share the love, throw the yarn, all that good stuff. Oh, so I have an appointment to 30, so I will ask because I'm probably going to need new glasses. I will ask her about the anti-glare for my glasses, because part of mine's age. It's just because all my life I was an avid reader of regular hard, books, and then of course, all my knitting, crocheting, and then of course the era of the computer come in. This is my new monitor. I have dual monitor setup here, but I've got one monitor. The other monitor is downstairs. I'm going to get a little bit of a smaller monitor to put over here, because I did that for my editing. So, my members and everybody, subscribers on the channel, family members, I did the Yaya's monthly drawing, and Beverly from Bailey Nucter's Cat on the Prowl Creations won, and so she chose a gift card. So I'm going to I got her gift card. I just got to wait for Mary Maxim to send me the code. I gave her a choice. You get a choice, a couple different things. But at the end of this month, I'm going to be doing the members' first quarterly drawing, and then there's going to be one for the channel as a whole. You have to be subscribed in order to win. And I'll be doing that. And usually I do a random, and I don't. Thank you, Praise Guardian. Thank you, dear. I just want you to know that he's on the ball. He's beating him. He's like, first one here. He commented on a couple of my videos I had put out. He goes, first one here again. So thank you, Priest Guardian. He's a big supporter of the channel, and I so appreciate it very much. Like I said, I'm trying to increase my content, but I only want to put content out if there's something to put out. Okay, I'm just not going to come on here to babble. Okay, Nessa, I'll check it out. I know I have the transitional bifocals, and I've got they darken the polar lenses when I'm outside, because I just couldn't see going to the expense of buying a separate pair of prescription sunglasses, because regular sunglasses don't do crap. I can't see when I'm working. So I will check that out. I have it on the warm light. It has two different. See, that one's a little bit brighter. So I go back to that one there, and I can lower it down. There, I lowered it down. So, and I try to keep my, my head. Let's see, shut it off and see what it does. There, it's daylight out, so it's enough. I don't need it on. So that's all things that have been going on, and I mean my head's things constantly in my head, figuring things out. And this book I come up. Let me throw this down in. I'm gonna throw this down in the tote that I have it in. This is the book here that I'm going to be working from first. I'll probably work a couple months through this book here before I introduce for the choices the other books, because the other books give choice of working in the round. So yeah, Golden Age. Yeah, I shut it off. Well, at nighttime when I'm filming, I need the extra light, because I have a window right here. Welcome in, Alan. Welcome in, dear. I watched a video, left my DNA in the comments this morning, dear. Beautiful makes. So this here is the 750 knitting stitches, the ultimate knit stitch Bible. And there are, I mean, seriously, a lot of stitches, and some I've never done. When I was designing, I was looking through here for designs. Oh, geez. My majorette pictures in here from when I was a majorette many years ago. I was probably 10 or 11 years old. And that's before I made the senior core, when I got the big fancy furry hat. I haven't changed. Face is still the same, just gray hair. like this whole section here, this is cable and Aran stitches. I mean, this is just a few pictures of the different cables. So I left it up to the poll to pick which section I go to. Once that's done, I will talk to who, can't say her name or she'll come on. Hello. And I will count how many stitches are in that section. And I will say, give me a number between this, and whatever number she comes up with. I know I love knitting cables. I love crocheting cables. I love cables. Then that is the tutorial I'm gonna do for that week. And I'm figuring the tutorials are probably going to release Saturday mornings. By the time I do a test swatch, in other words, go through the pattern, get myself familiar with it if it's one that I have never dealt with, and then film the tutorial, do the editing. Now, when I edit, and I'm sure you've heard other content creators say, you might be filming for 2, 3, 4 hours doing this this tutorial. But then comes the editing for time. So you edit the time down. So, sometimes on a simpler pattern. Okay, Lorraine, yeah, it's great. I bought this, I think, the first year, 2 years, second year I was back to knitting. Some of the tutorials are easier, if it's just a simple knit or purl stitch combination. But when you're getting into lace, cables, texture, the pattern may be, instead of being a 5-row pattern, you'll get hooked on it, Golden Age, you'll get hooked on it. It might be 20 or 25, rows on the pattern itself. So that's going to take longer to film. And usually what I try to do is just one full repeat, okay, of the whole pattern. So you can see what the pattern is. Or I may do a whole repeat in my test swatch. And then when I go to do my tutorial, then I will begin. I'm going to say, this here is what we're going to get. And we're going to start here and we're going to do this repeat again. So I'll do a repeat. And I keep 9 times out of 10, I keep the swatch that I've done. And I have a bag in there that I just throw my swatches. I've got a whole bunch of squares because eventually what I'll do is I'll put them into a blanket. I just scroll here saying, I just saw a new join method called the zigzag and I like it. So I may take, on a cold winter's night or something sitting there, grab a stack, no rhyme or reason how I put the squares together and start putting squares together. So I can have what I'm going to call, it's going to be called my Manic Monday blanket. I've done, Lisa from Ladybird Loves got me into my first crochet cables on a crochet along that her members had a couple years ago. We made a pillow. And I got frustrated. Finally, one day it just, boom, clicked. And then I went on to do a sweater by a news crochet that was all cables around the hood. It was a hooded sweater, and it had cables all the way up and around the hood, down the other side. It had cables on the pockets. I loved it. Nessa, exactly. And people say I'm crazy. I find knitted cables are so much easier than crocheted cables, but I like the looks of both. I just love a good cable. And I mean, and I was talking to Barb, my sister-in-law. Golden Age, even if they're not standard, it'll be like a patchwork blanket. Make it your own. I mean, can you imagine? You do this blanket, and you can even make a wall tapestry, and you can go up to that, and you can say, I know a pattern that came from. I know when I did that. So it's sort of like it's a version of a cozy memories blanket. You know what I'm saying? And you can say, oh, I did it in what the yarn was, and it just brings back memories. I think I've seen her too, Demetra. But so that's, I mean, like I said, go check the poll out on the community tab. Put your vote in. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to tally the votes. Whatever section gets the most vote, that's the section I'm going to do the first tutorial on. And it's not to say there won't be, besides just this book, a lot of times when I'm working on a project. Yes. Yes, I saw that. if I'm doing patterns, a lot of times, some of my tutorials were just literally as I was working a project. And Lindsay, I did a lot from Lindsay. Like there's a few up there from Solar Flare I did. I don't show the pattern, but I'll do a specific technique or combination of stitches, and I put it in the title what it is. Whether it's an SSKP, a KPO, which is slip, 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 knit, pass 3 over the 1. Yeah, I know. But so that's what I'm looking to, because that's mainly what people watch. I mean they watch my other videos, but my highest watched or amount of views is on my tutorials, and I still get 4 years later, I am still getting messages from people in comments about when I did that Leisure Arts Afghan cow of stitches that were in there, the blocks, 63 stitches, 63 blocks of that Afghan. I still have, I kept that one. I've donated most every other one of my blankets for prizes, or I wouldn't let them go in the auction. You're welcome, Golden Age. You're welcome. So I was telling you too about Solar Flare. The update on Solar Flare is this. I only had a little ball of the yellow left from the Opal Fire that I did, the Sultan cake the Cotton Kings cake that I did it from, because to me it said Sun on Fire. So it had been out of stock at Hobie for a long time. It's back in stock. I just put an order in for a couple cakes. So I'm gonna wait till that comes in so I can work on the last 4 sets of flames. It's 12 flames, but they're 4 sets of 3. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to undo the other flames that I had done with the rainbow print. I don't like how it looks. I just don't like how it looks. I'll ask your opinion. Hold on. Those 3 on the back of my door are whips that I work steadily on. Okay. With the exception of the center, this was done in the solid salt and cotton cake. Okay, because it was a pinwheel cast on to do the center. But starting here and out was the cake, and I didn't color control it. I just let it go. It did such a beautiful. But all of this, all of this, all of this will be gone, because I'm going to tear this back, and I'm going, because I like the way, like I started using the yellow the way it's working up. Welcome in, Dreeny, because that's how I like it to do. Now, what I may control on it is get to a section where it's just a little bit of this, and then the color changes come in. I may change it that way. So I got 2 cakes if I have to cut. And I can always make something else out of this, but that's what I'm going to do. So that's why this is on hold. I messaged Lindsay to let her know, because this was the yarn that I was using. Okay, it's 8-4 rainbow print, and I just don't like the way it stripes up. I need the ombre effect for the effect of the sun on fire. And being that I've worked so long on this project, and it's one of my, thank you, Priest. I've worked so hard on this project, and it was one of my biggest projects on beading. The one that well, that's just it, Golden Age and Priest. The Hobie cake, Opal on Fire, it's called Opal Fire. And it absolutely said to me, like when Lindsay did hers, she did hers with 5 colors. They were specially dyed for her for that shawl, so it gave the gradient, and hers had pink in it and stuff like that. But the way the gradient, you've seen me show you pictures of the pattern, the pictures on pattern, it was absolutely gorgeous. And see if I can find it here. Okay, let me see. Okay, what I got. That is the yarn. Let me turn. I got to turn the. that is what the yarn looked like that I did the shawl in. It's called Opal Fire. So I ordered a couple cakes of it, and the only color controlling I'll do is just to get it to do. What I'm gonna basically do is going to do a shorter gradient on it, so it goes up through the flames. You know, I mean that's just my. I mean I could see it in my head. It's just gonna take the time, and then I'll have to go back and just frog all the other flames and do those flames again. So it's exactly golden age. Well, it's called solar flare, and to me, sun on fire. It took me a long time to pick the yarn out for that, and there's a lot of work into it, a lot of beads, a lot of hours, because I'm working on like 3.25 needles, but I love it. So Lindsay said she hadn't realized I had run out of yarn. I said, well, I ran out of the Opal Fire. I don't like the way the flames are working up with the other yarn that I got. So that's the update. So Solar Flare is in the time off for now, along with my latte cake sweater I was doing. Sis has some more yarn, so I can finish that sweater and get that done. Cable Crush almost done. Fairhaven, of the original pattern, I've only got maybe 8 rows, but she put out a border, an extension border on it, and I'm going to do that too. So, but it's 75% done. So those are some big projects that are going to be done. So little by little, I'm ticking them off my list, and get them done, because I do want to put a pair of socks on. I don't have any socks on the needles, and I need to get a pair of socks on the needles. Got my 2 blankets I'm going to work on through the year. And the one is the Cat's Meow, which a lot of people did for Boggy Creek. Nessa, were you the one that got, and I apologize, were you the one that got Fairhaven? My first Fairhaven show I did in the auction? Because people couldn't believe I parted with it. I was very proud of it. I loved it. Okay, yeah. So I'm doing the second one here in the grays and greens. So I'm working on this one. Now, Nessa, I think I sent you the pattern for this. But what you have to know is the border that's on that was my own design. Yep. Okay, well, I'll send you the pattern. I'll give you a pattern from Courtney. The border that's on that. Thank you, Dragon Cat. The border that's on that was my design. It was my, we call it creative license. I'm just making myself a note, Nessa. Because back when this first Golden Age, this is Fiber Fox Studios, Courtney. She is the mosaic master. I know there's other mosaic channels on here. That was her first mosaic, full mosaic. No worries, Nessa. Thank you. One of my moderators, well, I'm going to go get her Etsy shop, and I will put it in the chat. Hold on, let me see here. Etsy. Sign in. My account. Purchase and reviews. Okay, let me see here. Oh. Fiberfox Studios. Okay, I want to share this. Okay, let's see. I want to share this. I mean, she's got some gorgeous patterns, and her patterns, a lot of them have tutorials with them. All right, let me copy. Okay. Yes, she did. All right. There is her Etsy shop. She also has a YouTube channel called Fiberfox Studios where she does a lot of times she says, oh, you don't have to go to my shop and buy the pattern. Well, that's fine and good. That's the woman's livelihood. So I go buy the patterns. I have got a whole binder of nothing but Courtney's patterns that I have purchased. And I spent about a month and a half when I first attempted mosaic. I got so frustrated, I just quit. I told her, I just can't get it. Well, her two favorite patterns of mine are Butterfly Lane and Butterfly Alley. So I said, okay, I'll try it again. And lo and behold, it clicked, and I've been doing it ever since. I made Sis there a pillow with Butterfly Lane, um, and I enjoy, you know, doing the mosaic. And she's a good teacher, very very thorough. So if you do go buy one of her patterns. They're not that expensive, and they're very well written. She has some now. She's gone back and redone some of them where she's having both the charts and the written. But she actually has chart bundles, and she does. I mean, you get your bang for your buck. Believe me, with her. And the Fairhaven one, yeah, it was 3-part videos, and it's like 4 hours a piece. I mean, a lot of work went into that shawl. So, and again, I try to support small business. I try to support content creators. That's what we're all here for. To help each other. Just gotta get a sip here. So I'm in my Sunday just hanging around clothes. And I'm going to actually, I've worked a little bit here, got that one little video out. And then tomorrow morning I'll see about what we do. And then I'll begin recording the tutorial. Plus, I'm going to be tearing down the yarn wall, reorganizing the yarn wall. Because I'm going to get out yarn and put my bougie yarn is going to go in here. Like bougie yarn, sock yarn, stuff like that. But this gives me a chance because I'm trying to work through my stash too. I'm trying to work through my stash. I have a couple boxes of yarn I got to put together for a few people. Okay, Lorraine, thank you. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day, Lorraine. Again, why don't you drop your link, a channel link one more time so people can go check you out. Lorraine's Canadian. Okay. Golden Age. I find knitting patterns easier to read than crochet patterns, but there are a few crochet designers that write the same way I do, which I actually got my cue from them. They write what's called conversational patterns. And it's literally like you and I are we're sitting here at my craft table, and I'm showing you how to do something, and the words that are coming out of my mouth is what's written in my pattern. Instead of all just, shorthand. Jeannie on the Hook Crochet also does it. Krista from the Secret Yarnery writes like that. I like the conversational because I find it's all written and it's easy to follow along. Now, patterns that have the charts, and it's just me. It's just me. I found crochet charts more difficult than knitted charts. Again, don't get me wrong. I talked Lindsay when I first started testing for Lindsay. I got them charts. I looked at it and was like, oh my God, it was Greek to me. Greek to me. Little by little, I taught myself to read charts, watched videos, and read up on it. And I can read the charts. Like in this book here. Let me see. Yeah, this book here is all written. Okay. In the beginning of this book, it literally has your basics, which I've done tutorials in. Has your basics starting off, casting on, knit, purl, basic. I have that on. It shows you how to pick up color, change colors, how to change color mid-row, which is my problem because my color work stinks. But I'm working on it. Golden Age mosaic charts are probably one of the easiest charts to read because in mosaic, in the in the overlay mosaic. 2 stitches. Well, really 3. You got your traditional single crochet, which goes through both loops at the end of she does 2 single crochets in the last stitch. If you follow Courtney, you have your single crochet back loop only, and you got your double crochet. Those are the only stitches you have. So to read the charts, they're really easy to read. And like I forget, somebody said they do the highlighter marker, which I used to do as I was going across. I would use a highlighter marker when I finished the row. Yeah, anything can be learned, and it just takes time. And if I'm having difficulty with something, and this goes back to when I was in school and I was doing calculus and algebra and geometry and statistics and all that stuff, it all seemed Greek to you, and it was just like frustrating. But until eventually you just keep at it. But sometimes step away from something. I've stepped away from patterns as long as a year, and then went back, and it's like light bulb on. So that was excuse me. Yeah, Alan, I've got the cats. I got the kit to do the cat's meow. I tore it all apart, and I'm gonna restart it again. But it's just almost anything practice. I consider myself an advanced beginner knitter, maybe early intermediate. Does not stop me from doing advanced patterns. It doesn't. Lindsay has the pattern Airbender, which is an advanced pattern. I tested that pattern, simplified version, in 2019. I mean, I hadn't been back into knitting a year. Yeah. But it's seriously, I mean, look, life's an adventure, crafting's an adventure. You never know what's around the next corner. It could be a great discovery, or it could be the biggest mistake you made. But unless you try, you don't know. And I have my fails, lots of them. I'm sending a whole bag of Shawl and the Ball to somebody for my priestess coat. They're going to frog it. It can be frog. Shawl and the Ball can be frog, by the way. You just have to be patient and gentle, and you can't frog it. I mean, when I frogged the elf coat, that was in King Cole Riot, which is a fuzzy, and it took me over a period of a year or so, just taking it out and winding it back up, and then I recake as I get some balls, and I recake. I do a join, and I had the cakes done. A couple people, and thank you everybody for the emails that wanted to yarn. But I said the first email I got, not the first message, but the first email I got was something with your address. They're the one that got it, and one person sent me the email, said, "Geez, you wish you could finish it for me." And I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do it in a different yarn. I'm going to do it in a different yarn, and I'm going to let my minimal stash, chuckle, talk to me for the pattern. Actually, it's going to be a toss-up between the priestess and the elf. I want to do one. I eventually want to do both, but which one I do first, it's up, because I love both patterns. That's Regina Weiss from Moral Fiber. Great patterns. Enjoyed it. So anybody who all in here, I know, well, you did a beautiful job on it, sis. Who all in here is in the path of that polar vortex that's coming tomorrow? I did not like the way it fit, Nessa. I didn't like the way it looked. So like I said, I don't have people freak right out when they see me ripping these huge projects out. I don't have a. Yeah, so I thought, Drini, they were getting another thing. Oh, Priest Guardian, thank you. He's too sweet, and I mean, thank you, Priest. Yeah, most of it's going to miss us. The cold temperatures aren't, but we'll get more. Actually, it'll be more ice than anything. We've only had this entire winter so far. We've had less than 6 inches of snow. Yeah, they're talking clear down in Florida and everywhere, this polar vortex coming in, and they're saying some of the places are gonna have the coldest temperatures they've had in 30 years. I mean, it's supposed to be brutally, brutally cold. I know further west of here has got a lot more snow than we did, and don't get me wrong, I'm cool with that. Thank you. Yes, he's wonderful. I mean, he's been a big supporter of my channel, and he believes in me. I um, he's a big believer in me. Thank you, priest. -19. Yeah. Right now it's showing 40 degrees Fahrenheit here. Let me see what it says in Celsius. Snowfall. We have a snowfall warning that has been issued. Okay, let's see. Full forecast. Okay, ours says right now it's 18 degrees. 18 degrees here, which is not that bad. Going down to -4 tonight. These are all in Celsius, by the way. Yeah, see. Oh wow. Next Tuesday it's supposed to be 19. 19. Nope, it's Fahrenheit. I gotta change to Celsius. Hold on. Celsius. That looks different. Okay. Right now it's 4 degrees, 5 degrees Celsius. It's going to -20, 21, 21, -16 Monday through Thursday. Our nights are going to be in wicked cold temperatures, which would be -6 Fahrenheit, -5 Fahrenheit. So it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. We're supposed to start snowing here about 1 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah. Sounds like fun. Get rid of that. -19. Yeah, Dimitri, yes. Ours is getting here tomorrow night. So, but I think of it this way. Again, positive in, positive out. Each day is one day closer to spring. In most cases, one day closer to summer, because I just like to bypass right over spring, right to summer. So that's good. But yeah, so I thought I'd have come on today for an hour. I am going, after this is done, I'm going to schedule the live for next Sunday, which next Sunday we will have a panel. Sis, I know, will be up on panel, and I'll put, pin the link in the comments, so anybody wants to come up. But today, I just wanted to come on for an hour and do this because I'm going to try to get a bunch of stuff done today. Okay. Excuse me, I just got to tickle my nose, and I don't want you to see me rub my nose. That's just not very ladylike on camera. You can still hear my voice, though. Oh, and by the way, is the audio okay? You too, Ellen. Stay warm, stay safe, my dear. Stay crafty. Okay. Yeah, I didn't want you to see me with a tissue on my nose. That's gross. Thanks, Priest. Thank you. Also, too, I don't have the boom arm here. What I am going to do is bring it down and go low profile so it comes up this way so it's not hanging down. I had bought lavalier mics, and I tested them out. So I sent them back, and Amazon refunded me my money. I'll check it out, Nessa. I'll tell you. See, that's just it. Again, lesson learned. One of the best investments that I got myself, Temu, was a garment measuring tape. These give you better. This is where swatching comes in, and people say, I don't swatch. That's your choice. But then you end up with things like too small, too short, too big. Is this. And to use this, you literally come around you So you come around you, and you're able to do my waist. You come around like this, you put it in, and you can just hit the button, and it sucks it in, okay? So there it is, and then you can pull this out, and you got your measurement. So, and well, Ellen, I'm going to be having some equipment. I've got a tripod. I've got a couple of static arms that I am going to be putting up for really cheap on my community tab when I get a chance. So, you know, but this, I got these on Temu. And heads up, I do have a couple more of these. I put in I have a little tote there. I have little accessories, tools in that when I send happy mail or gift-aways, I put stuff like this in it. Just so you can see. These are the two for gift-aways. See, Nessa, that's the thing. And I'm just using this as an example because I know there's such a distinct difference between my tension. When I'm normally just knitting, sweater, scarf, shawl, whatever, my tension's one thing. But when I go to do a small circumference or like a pair of socks, my tension just goes, whew, just tight. And I've tried, you know, I loosen up, my hands are relaxed on the needle, but it's just the way I knit on a small circumference. It's tighter. So in that case, I have to go up 1 or 2 needle sizes. Mimi's up. Yep, Dopetown. Welcome in, Mima. Welcome in. So that's one of the things. And I know there's some people that don't want nothing to do with garments. I was a person that said, I'm never going to do blankets. And I love doing blankets, just different kinds. You know, I couldn't do just double crochet blanket, you know. I really don't have an interest in like the chevron or anything like that, zigzag, but patterns like, you know, the cat's meow and the ones that have the blocks, like I did the 63 block Afghan and I have a bunch of granny squares I've done, you know, for my Manic Monday blanket. But Manic Monday, Manic Memories. I don't know. When I start doing it, I'll name it. Now, see, I never thought I'd repeat a pattern, but there are a few patterns that I have made it a couple, 2, 3 times. Welcome in, Jen. Okay, I don't think many folks about how our attention gauge can change as you are working project. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. Your tension and your gauge can change from hour to hour. Your frame of mind, your emotional state, you know. Yeah. Well, again, you can start off in gauge, but that's why it's good to check your gauge as you're doing the project. Another big thing is so many of us start a project, it goes into timeout. You go to pick that project back up, and it's like, and you start, it's like, it looks different, whether it's crocheting, knitting, Tunisian, Brutic, whatever. And it's just human nature. You know, if you're going to sit there, I just can't do one project at a time. Alan, granny squares to me are a go-to for just, you know, that's why I have a whole box of granny squares. Small ones, big ones, big ones. And also, too, I have granny squares in hand. If somebody's looking for, they're doing a thing with squares, I can measure, see if I have a 6-inch or a 7-inch or a 10-inch square, whatever. I can send them some squares. It's already done. But no, gauge is really important. Yeah, Demetra. A lot of, again, when I do my gauge, when I'm doing a project like a sweater, particularly knitting. I do a gauge swatch, and I keep my gauge swatches, okay, and I steam and block them. So I can see how that yarn is gonna grow, especially if I'm using a wool or wool blend. Because a lot of times Doris, that's what I call it, my manic my manic memories blanket. When you do, I've done, I forget that fisherman sweater that I did last year, that cardigan, 3 swatches, and I ended up having to go up a whole needle size to make gauge. It can vary because of the yarn you're using, what time of the year it is. Is it something you're really enjoying? You know, did you put it down and come back to it? I mean, there's so many factors that will change. Thank you, Margaret. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, dear. Hey, click the subscribe, join the family. That puts you in the running for the monthly giveaways that are going to be on the channel. It's something new for 2025. Subscribers will have a monthly. I call them Fiber Family members, not subscribers. I hate that term. Become a Fiber Family member. It's free. Then you're eligible to be in the drawing for the monthly giveaways that I'll be doing. Use my tablet, flashlight, and light crochet hook. Now I saw that short that you had, Nessa, on the lighted crochet hook. I had a whole bunch of them. I gifted them away to everybody. I got rid of them all. Do you like your lighted crochet hooks? Oh, I can't spell. Okay, there I am. I'm back. Sorry, I just had to do something. I just can't work on one project for a couple of reasons. I'm not ADHD or anything like that, but I don't like to be bored. Now, boring to me is when I have to do stockinette, which is on my Nordica sweater, those cable crush joggers. I got them done. I persevered and got them done, with the exception of pockets, which I'll do them tonight. I'll work tonight on them, as I'm gonna watch in the evening. I'll watch TV with Barb for a little bit. Okay. I saw those. I think Tony from TL Yarn Crafts did some reviews on them. I'm still, my favorites are my clovers. But I do love my prims. And I have this set here I got. It's just a generic set I got. I actually like these. And then I have a few Omi hooks. I gifted all but one of my Nelson Wood hooks. We have a visitor. This is my she is my
here we go.
She is one of my admins on Yaya's in here. Helps
Hi,
me a lot,
everyone.
And this is Miss Priest. If you don't know, Priest Guardian is Darlene's husband. He has been a driving force. Talk about encouragement and having a cheerleader behind my channel. And I thank him so much. He's been a big help to my channel. So I so appreciate it.
I think I'll keep him.
Thank you, Priest. Thank you. I just said he's my YouTube hubby. We have a threesome. Yeah. Darlene, Priest, and me. It's kind of one of them weird things.
Thanks for all the hellos.
And yes, I played cards last night.
And you
won. I won last night. As I love you too, Priest. I won last night, and it was the same guy that I went up against last week. I got second. He got first. I got first. He got second. he last night he looked up and he was talking to Warren because he misses him something awful, because the two of them used to they'd cut up, and the shenanigans was everything. Because Warren would say to him, "Be enough of them shenanigans." So now he comes in and I'll say, don't start them shenanigans. And he'll turn around and say, the shenanigans are about to begin. So it's a very, very friendly when we go heads up. So yes, I did win. So I've got a bunch of credits sitting there. So that's what I play on. And when I go there, it's mine and Warren's date night. He's with me. We play cards. And they'll say, Warren's with you because I was hitting pockets last night. Pocket kings, pocket queens, pocket fives 3 times, pocket kings 3 times. I just all night pockets all night. It's one of those nights. So yes, I did play cards last night.
Don't know.
I was home by 1:30.
Pockets.
A pair. Pocket pairs when you have 2 of the same kind of card in your hand. Yeah, I play Texas Hold'em and a bunch of other games when we do cash night. But anyways, back to what we're talking. So gauge is important. When I'm doing a garment for crochet, I will, particularly when it's if it is a DK or smaller yarn, sport weight or fingering weight, I will gauge swatch. Worsted, Aran, bulky, I usually don't gauge swatch for a garment.
I did it with this thing I'm doing.
Shame on you. You know better.
I don't think my mother ever did, though.
Yeah. If your mother jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge, would you jump off the Brooklyn Bridge?
No.
Okay.
That's a silly question.
Gauge swatch. It's very important. I know now. If you're, and there's a lot of people don't know this, and I found out by mistake, but I'm glad I did. When you're gauge swatching for in the round, there is a special way you do it. You're actually doing it flat, but what you do is, as you come to the end, you will take your yarn and bring it here and hold it. So in the back, you just got strands running down the back, but that's to do it in the round. It's not exact, but it's a shorter cut to doing your gauge swatch without having to actually do it in the round.
Yeah, Lindsay, that's what Lindsay wanted us to do for her ladies' night out.
Yes.
But I just did it a normal one because I didn't know what the heck it meant. But when I was in the class with Jill Wilcock, who's like, she's teaching me a lot. She's a lovely lady. She's Western, I don't know what state she is. She was in California, but I think she's in one of the other ones now.
Okay.
But yeah, like I think the next class with her is in not this week.
I'll answer your question in a minute, Nessa. Doris, in a minute.
And that's how I learned. That's what you do for in the round.
Yeah.
But swatches, for me, I think it's waste of yarn. I don't want to waste my yarn.
Yeah, but you can reuse the yarn.
But you block it, and then you have to
put it in. I do believe I have a video for gauge watching because I even show the different tools that I have for doing a gauge watch. Doris, the pattern 99.999% of the time on the pattern itself. Let me just grab this. Okay, this is my January pattern that I got from Dawn. She's custom dyeing the yarn for this. On the pattern, it will tell you in the information where it tells you what the materials you're going to need. If there's any special stitches, okay, you'll see something that says gauge. Now the gauge here is 22 stitches and 30 rows. Usually it will be a 4-inch by 4-inch gauge swatch. Okay. And it tells you the stitch that needs to be done in. A lot of times it's just stockinette, but if you have a pattern, and I'm just talking about knitting right now, if you have a pattern, it'll say in pattern. Okay. Or if there's a chart, in chart A. That gives you an idea. Then you take your little gauge swatch measurer.
And one thing Jill said to me, because I asked about that, like the size of the swatch, and she says she always goes maybe a few stitches extra.
I do. I usually do four stitches on each side, so it looks like a little block. Okay, these are two. These here are two different gauge.
Oh yeah.
I have quite a few of these.
I bought.
I've got this one here. This one here, I'll tell you about it in a minute. But these are different gauge watch. So what?
Yeah, and this is one that I got, like this here piece in the middle.
Yeah, the clover one.
Yeah.
And if you look here, it'll tell you 4 inches, and I show you in the video how to use this. And
yeah, because that one's here, a little bit confusing.
This one here, I don't find it confusing. This is by Artworks.
Oh, because you're looking at it a different way.
This one here tells you stitches per inch. On here, I've had this forever. This is a boy. This tells you stitches per inch, and you'll in.
I think I have something like that one too.
You start here, and then to figure out how many stitches. I don't use this one a lot. I use this one more for needle gauge. The one I use most of the time is this one here. But I also got this, and I haven't used this one yet. This is Prim. But what I like about this one here, I'm just going to find out how to open the stupid thing.
One that I've used also is this one. Let me get it right there. Is this one. And he's cute. And do you notice the color?
Where'd you get that at?
Oh, I don't know. Some lovely sister of mine gave it to me.
It was purple. Okay, this one here, and this is plastic. This is by Prim. And oh, it's in German. I can't read it. It's in German.
Hon, could you turn the light on for me, please? That one.
This is a knitting calculator and counting frame. It literally tells you how many stitches should be. Let's see, 24. It tells you up here how to do it. You take and you put the stitch here. Okay. If it tells you 24 stitches at 10 centimeters or 4 inches, you take this, you put this here, and it tells you how many stitches that you have at how many stitches you should have at 50 centimeters, 5 centimeters. So it's another way to check your gauge further on in your project to save you time. So it's written in German. Plus, it has your gauge watch, and it shows you here how to count your rows. Okay, this will count your rows this way, and then here it counts your stitches. So this one's how many stitches and how many rows.
And that's only for the rows that do not have slip stitches.
Yep, exactly, Golden Age. So I haven't had a chance to use this yet, but I'm looking forward to using this in projects now. But those are the different and I have one more, and I gave bunch. I had a whole bunch of these things. I used to get them from, they'd come in kits and stuff, and I just put them in, send them off in Happy Mail. But this is a good tool to have. I wouldn't say it's a luxury tool. I would say it was a necessary tool. If you don't want to sit there and take your tape measure, pin it down, and count that way. This way, it literally measures out your 4-inch, like this one here, your 4-inch block, and you're able to count your stitches that way. And you can use this for knitting or crocheting, because crochet is the same way. If you look at a crochet pattern, it'll tell you 10 rows, 10 stitches by, excuse me, this many rows for your swatch in double crochet. So, excuse me, that way it'll give you a better. So it's knitting or crocheting. Now, a side note on crocheting. A lot of us are crocheters too. instead of using a chain 3 for my turning chain, I'm using a stacked single crochet. It actually looks like a double crochet, and you don't get that little humpity hump on your edge. It helps keep them edges straight. I'm going to do a quick 5-minute tutorial on doing a stacked single crochet.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Because usually it asks for you do 3 chains to do your side. I never do that. I only do 2.
Well, if you do a stacked single, it makes it neat, and it actually looks like a stitch instead of just a chain stitch here, so you don't get that little bit of a space.
Okay.
So that is
because I'm a rebel. I don't always.
So I mean that's a little. Yeah, Jen Reeves uses it too. Nessa does too. It looks way nicer. It looks like a stitch. Excuse me. But there are, I mean, don't get me wrong. You guys all know I have all kind of gadgets for knitting and crocheting and for the channel and all that stuff like that. I guess you call me Gadget Gale, or somebody likes to call me the Island Fairy Guru. But if I get a tool and I don't like how I give it to somebody. I look for things. Welcome in, Divergent.
Hello.
Yeah. If it makes doing my craft more efficient, more enjoyable, more accurate, then I'm all for it. Just like my knitting needles. What I started out with and what I have now, I upgraded to where I got my Chow Goose and my my very first set was my Takumi bamboo ones, and I still use those. I do because they have their use. They grab the yarn, so I have yarns that I've been knitting along, and the next thing you know, my stitches go zip right off my needle.
But I have the Chagu bamboo ones.
Yeah,
I love them. That's what I'm using on this project.
Well, the Takumis are too. I have the Takumis. I bought those back in 2018 with a 60% off coupon, which you don't see from Michael's anymore.
No,
but it was a $225 set. Again, you're paying for the name as part of it, but they're good quality needles. And the cords are decent. They're non-key connectors. They screw on, so I make sure I get a gripper and I tighten tight enough. But for the most part, I've never had any problem with them, and they're sharp. They're very pointed and nice to work with. They don't get burrs. I mean, they're quality, just like my Clover hooks. By the way, I got one I didn't have that I added to my collection, and that was the 12 millimeter.
Oh, okay.
In teal, because I have a crochet sweater pattern. I bought a bundle of patterns for like $10, and I needed a 12 millimeter hook for it. It's a poncho with a cowl neck and sleeves, real sleeves, not the little ones like I did on Carolina. It's full sleeves. Golden, I bought the ones off AliExpress, the shiny nickel-plated ones, and they are, and apparently when I got them, they were a lot cheaper than they are now. They're like $80 or $90 now, but I love them.
I don't remember how much I paid for mine. I think it was around what you paid.
Yeah, Darlene got a set. Michael got a set. He did a review on it. Tony Lipsy did a review on them. I think Corinna from Just Vintage Crochet did a review. There's a bunch of people that did reviews on them. And now they come out with gold. I have 2 sets of Tunisian. I've got my Denise interchangeables, which I love, and I've got my metal ones because those are really, really slick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you can get a lot of good stuff off. I don't know if I get stuff off Temu. I mean, I know there's all kind of different. We don't do that here on this channel, but it is what it is. I get a lot of my charms and stuff to make my stitch markers and stuff like that. I get my stickers, my thank you cards for the channel. I have some anchor ribbon coming, anchor ribbon, anchor tape. I don't know. I got something with anchors on it. But I've invested. I mean, I've got Okay, you can't see up there. I showed them before. It's a stack. They snap on top of each other, which is my Prim DPNs, all my 9-inch circulars, my set of Mindful, and some other tips. And then I have my crochet hooks in this. And then in here, these are Tunisian knitting, my interchangeable sets. I got this off of Amazon. And these are actually pretty decent needles. And these are 40-inch cables for doing socks. Okay. I like the little case. I actually went and measured every one of these and put the size on the sleeve. But I also use them if I'm doing dishcloths or something like that. It's just an extra set. It was a cheap set. It works. My Haya 40-inch for socks.
Yeah, the last socks I didn't really poke myself as bad.
Yeah. I bought these 5 years ago. These are my shorty. These are sock needles, DPNs from Knit Picks. Love them. They're laminated. They're beautiful. I use them a lot I use them when I'm doing my heels, but I also use them for small circumference if I'm not using a 9-inch. These are, I have actually 2 sets of these because I work with thread and also for beading. Okay. And then I bought this set from a whole set like this. They've got the cap on them. I couldn't just by paying the money for the
Chagus or the
for clover.
Yeah, I got that.
Those work great. My Zing DPNs. These are just ones I got from Amazon. Barb uses a lot of these. If I'm doing the decreases on a hat that is too big of a size of needle for if it's more than 4 millimeter, I use these. This was given to me. This is a Tunisian in the round on a cable. This is for doing Tunisian in the round. I've never used them. They're vintage Susan Bates.
Wow.
Friend of mine. They're Silverloom. Made in Mexico. Coats and Clark.
I love highs for my socks.
And then these are my jumbos. These are Knit Picks. These are birch laminated, interchangeable. There is 19, 20, and 25. There's US 50, US 25, and US 19 interchangeable bulky yarn. And then I have this one set.
Golden Age wants to know how you like your highs.
Love them, except they put holes in my fingers.
Yeah, you got to be really careful because they're like extremely sharp.
And I love this. I have one more case like this. I had been redoing my cases and stuff because I'm redoing my tools and stuff. I want to do one of my carts for just my tools because I want to get that cubicle cubby cube thing out of my closet and downstairs, making more room in my closet for yarn. I got to put a shelf up. I want to be able to so I can see what I have. They're in totes.
Today I got a stud finder today that Dean said that's what he needed in order to get my shelves together and get them up on the wall.
Yep.
So that's getting closer.
I actually down here beside me, the shelves I bought when I bought the desk. I have a Tunisian set for in the round, interchangeable, 2 hooks per size, very nice hooks. My only issue is that the point of the head of the hooks is too rounded and it should be pointed. See, that's the thing with different Tunisian hooks. Now, Darlene's got a set of, are they Knit Picks, Darlene?
I have to look. I'm not sure. I have to look.
Oh, and I got a new mannequin head. I wanted something that would be better for my hats. It's actually 22-inch. It's the right size head for hats. No face or anything. I just wanted something that I could put the hats on and get a better picture. The other one I have is for kids' hats, but I just don't have. There's a thing you can get. You can put it on, but
Oh, you could
it
stick it
actually.
on your mannequin.
I don't know if I can put it on the mannequin, but
Um,
it works really good. This was a hat I did.
Knitter's
Pride. Okay, that was it.
Yeah. They're really nice. I do like the tips of these because they're a bit pointy. They're a bit pointy on the tips, if you can see that. Yeah. I need to figure out where this one is. Probably in one of those projects that I started that I will never finish. So I don't count those in my whips because I have no idea where they are or anything.
Yeah, we crochet knit picks. Knitter's Pride is now Knit Pro. They merged in the UK and Canada. It was Knit Pro. In the States, it was Knitter's Pride. Now they've merged under one name, Knit Pro. That's my ball winders from them. And I did get this. I've got to show when I was showing myself. I got this. Darlene, you'll know what this is. This is for safety eyes.
No, I don't use something like that.
You put it in here. You go between. It presses down.
Oh, see, I have see, all that stuff is upstairs now. I have a thing. It's a ball. It's a nice wooden ball that you put your hand on, and it has this steel tube with a hole, and that's what's like you get it in there, and that's how you push down on the plastic part to stick it on the inside. I can use that. See, the thing that you have, I may not be able to use.
They have different Priest. Her and I are planning on hooking up the end of. I have to go to St. John at the end of February to teach, and I thought we're gonna have a pajama party. I'm gonna stay an extra night. We're gonna have a pajama party because I have a whole box of yarn plus yarn that she won coming home.
But I'm taking I'm taking some of mine out. But see, once I get that room done, then I'll be able to go through it, and maybe some yarn will be going through to our fiber family. So, yeah. So I'll be cleaning some of it out, but I kind of need to see what I have.
Doris, I will tell you right now, the safety eyes I got two kinds of safety eyes. The other ones I threw away. Ones I got, it took 2 sets of pliers to undo those safety eyes. They weren't coming off.
Oh, I saw a trick for that. You squeeze them. You take the pliers and you squeeze the plastic part that you push down. You squeeze that a little bit and they'll pop off. I can't remember. I saw that on probably an IG post.
Under 3 years of age, I don't use safety eyes. Under 3, I will sew the eyes on.
You know, like I always use safety eyes on all my guys. I like the colored ones. Like I have a load of black ones.
Yeah.
Like all this tiniest ones to big ones. But I like the ones with color.
I have somebody else I can send some cotton to that does quilts. I sent 22 pounds to Debbie, the Canadian crotcher.
And there you go there.
Yeah, I've got a lot of fabric too.
Mimi does quilting.
I'm going to
she does beautiful stuff.
Yeah, she does. They're gorgeous. Barb's going to teach me how to quilt. She knows how to quilt. The my Addie blanket that I'm making is a mock quilt, knotted quilt. Yeah, they do burn it. Oh no, your eyes are important. Yes, Divergent, fabric. I was given 2 black trash bags full of fabric, and I have a stack of, and I actually need to find out somebody who might want them because I have a stack of quilting and sewing books of somebody
Okay.
that would like some.
On my behalf, the stuff that's in the living room is for Big Sis. Okay? When I was talking to her today, I showed it to her. You were there.
Yeah.
I said, this is yours.
Yeah, just like in my bedroom, underneath my
But-
table is a box.
There's the dining room. So dining room, living room, pretty connected. So
I have yarn 2 places. I have them in totes in my bedroom, and then I've got my craft room. It's the only 2 places yarn is, and I'm working in here to get out the cubicle, and I bought hanging bags for my yarn. I got 2 of them from Temu. I want to try so I can see my yarn and see what it is. You know what? My hubby was never upset. He would tell me, go buy some wool, or he'd give me a gift certificate. Go buy, everything was wool. There was no silk, cotton, acrylic. Everything was wool.
yeah.
But I have to say, he was so supportive of, because he saw that it brought me joy. And it also, it kept me, it kept my manic from going crazy. It made me focus. And I so enjoyed making stuff for people.
Well, he's even taken me shopping saying, okay, let's fill up this. Michael's carts are too small. Do we all agree with that?
No.
He said, let's fill this up and whatever it comes to.
Just get 2 carts. He has one and you have one.
Yeah.
Look, Priest, when I made the Kraken for Priest, and I'm starting his dragon over because I didn't like the other one. I've got different yarn I'm going to use. When I made that and saw how happy he liked it, and the fact that it's sitting by his computer,
Yep.
that makes me happy to see somebody happy. That makes me happy. You know?
The eyes are just like so big. I don't know how you get those big ones.
I ordered them from Amazon.
Yeah,
I have a thing.
Hand it over and I'll show it.
That measures. I've got to make another Kraken. I need one for my craft room.
Hand over your Kraken.
And this was my second full-size amigurumi I did. First one was Falcor. And then I did 2 Krakens. My first one I did for a gift for somebody. Priest got my second one, which I thought was better than my first one. And it's from the book by Megan Lapp, Mythical Creatures. And I did the advanced tentacle.
And you make them presentable. He is something else. Well, look at those eyes. Ooh.
How you do that is how you position. I had to keep repositioning the eyelids till I got the evil looking.
Yes, and all the lovely tentacles and
that's done all in Karen Simply Soft.
And he is nice and soft.
It was done in Karen's. The hardest part on the Kraken was getting the head shape properly with the stuffing.
You just have to keep massaging, getting it
soft
going.
Sculpting. They call it soft sculpting.
Yeah.
But
I love doing it. I find it's very soothing to try and get the shapes correctly.
Yeah. I was doing that with the dragon, but I just wasn't happy with the way the dragon turned out. So I'm going to go back to my original one. I'm going to do it in the 2 solid colors that are the teal, light teal, what they call it, soft teal, and the white. The one out, because the one, the Kraken, the dragons and stuff from this book, you pick what part you want to do. She's got variations for tentacles. She's got variations for ears and eyes and fins and tails and wings. And the one that I'm doing for Priest, I picked all the advanced ones. I picked all the, what is it, 12 parts just for the face, the different fins, or not fins, but things for the dragon. Congratulations, your senators won. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what
that?
Knitting and crochet. Yeah, knitting and crocheting. I wish I would have been doing it for the 35-year hiatus that I took from it, because it probably would have made my life a lot easier. But there's There's a reason for everything. Okay. When I rediscovered it in 2018, I haven't looked back.
I think that's around the time I started it also.
Yeah, because I taught myself to knit.
A blanket for my granddaughter. I made her. It was the colors of Minecraft.
Yep. That was a nice blanket. I saw a picture of it. That was a nice blanket. It came out nice.
And it was the waffle stitch.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's not enough hours in the day to do all the things you want. I mean, that's why I'm going to go through my pattern books. I've got 10 pattern binders. I'm going to go through my books, pull the patterns out, because I've sent patterns to people, because a lot of them are paid for patterns. I've sent the patterns to people. If I bought them, I can send them to somebody. You know, I'm not keeping a copy. I'm sending my copy that I printed up to them in a plastic sleeve. But I just to ones that I'm not going to do, ones that I liked, but I've just, you know, since then I've decided that I'm not going to do.
In the Halifax of the HRM Facebook page,
yeah,
for knitters, there was a lady giving away not giving, like she was selling 3 vintage books.
Oh, nice.
But you had to and by the time I saw it, they were gone. Because I was thinking, oh, Antoinette would have loved those.
I love vintage, especially the Victorian era. You know, so I'm sorry, I'm itching. Those little boils or whatever it was I had in my arms when I got back from Australia broke, but there's little bumps are none. They itch like crazy because they're healing. They itch.
And the yarn that you used for this crack and also is what you used for your joggers. Just different colors.
Yeah, different colors. That is
Here
called...
I am playing with its little... Yeah, I have that in I have a few colors of that also. I tried to do like a top, but maybe I should have swatched or something because it was too tight.
Start the car. Wow. Good deal, Jeanette. I've never used Scarfy. I've never used it. I mean, there's a lot of yarns I haven't used it.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, Golden, I'm getting ready to send a box of yarn to Winter there. I messaged her, and I'm going to send her a box because she had to get a lot of what I sent her. She had when she moved, she couldn't take. So I'm going to send her some more yarn. Yes, Nessa.
Yep. See, I usually have mine here, but all my stuff when I was trying to tidy up and all that stuff.
This is the dragon that I'm going to do.
You know he's watching.
That's all right. He can see it. That's the one I'm doing.
That's what she's doing for you, hon. She's going to do for you. What you think?
And if you look at the face, it has got so many tiny little fins for the face, because what it is dragon parts patterns. The dragon, it has one head, and then it's got different wings, different tails, different scales, different pieces for the face, different chest plates. I mean, and you pick, and then you put the pattern together. So, like when I was doing the dragon, I put down what I was gonna do, so I knew as I did the parts. I've got a bag in there with all the parts in it, and I've just got to rip them out. Where I'll just leave them that for now. Put it in the, what do you call it, UFOs. I can throw that away. I don't need that anymore. But it's a fun book.
There's actually a couple of them that I want to get. They're on Amazon for socks. And it's like they give you the cuff and then the body and then the foot. And I think maybe the heel. There's like 3 different parts of it. And you can use all the different parts. And there's a second one.
100 knitted tiles. That's for a future crochet along or knit along. But then we have the 100 crochet tiles. So what we'll do, this is for a future make along that the channel is going to sponsor, but it includes both knitters and crocheters.
See, I have like so many different books too for amigurumis.
Yep.
But again, they're like, once I get my room going, then I'll be able to see all my books also.
And then I got this one. Vintage styles for today. This is Lion Brand patterns that were wrote around the turn of the 20th century. And they have redone them in modern day terms, but it shows the original with the new one. Like
I like that one that's on the cover. It's pretty.
Yeah. If you look over here, it shows you the original patterns. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then inside, like here's one. This is the original.
Right,
and this is what it looks like. So, and I found this book from watching Karina over at Just Vintage Crochet. She's the one I do all my thread work from. She's the one that got me back into thread work. But when a channel starts diverting too much away from their core, then I don't watch you as much. She was always crochet tutorials. That's what she did. Well, now they're trying to throw some knitting in it as a beginner knitter. She doesn't know how to knit, so she's trying to throw that in. And she throws Tunisian in. I like vintage.
Well, you were always an all-around.
Yeah,
channel.
Oh yeah, I've done everything, but like I said in the video, my core concentration for tutorials will be knitting. Because I find, as far as Tunisian's concerned, Michael at MDL Crochet, Tony Lipsy, them, those are people I go to for Tunisian. Now, if somebody says, "Hey, can you show me?" If they find my teaching method easier to follow, fine, I'll do a tutorial for you if I can. Crochet, same thing. I mean, you've got Secret Yarnery, you've got Bag a Day, you've got tons of crochet channels out there. But I knit more than I crochet. I have a whole thing. Actually, it's a private list because it was a make along that we did with people. It was a private make along. I had permission from the designer to do tutorials on the pattern. She sent me the pattern and I did tutorials, but it was private, and it was the broomstick lace cow that I did. And I worked on mine. I'm finishing up and then I'll put my panels together and then I'll be able to show my finished product. I saw a book. Outlander was a series I loved to watch. I loved Outlander. It was a great show. I'm getting ready to rewatch it because I thought it was such a good series. And it had a lot of crocheted and knitted makes in it. Thank you, Priest. And that's appreciated. He said we make beautiful things and we share them, gift them. Now I do wear my, you can't see Manelli because I'm on Elgato. But Manelli has the cuff-to-cuff cable sweater that I made, so she wasn't naked. I put something on. Yeah, I know, Dimitri. I'm waiting for the next season to come out. It's a really good series. I really liked it. So, I want to, but again, just in the queue. But right now, this year, the year of the patterns for the Happy Mail Advent project, we'll be busy with the patterns that we are gifting each other. Excuse me.
We just finished watching a show called Silo. It was its second season, and they have a lot of knitted type garments and crocheted in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. I'm actually noticing the time I'm going to have to go pretty soon because I have to cook supper. We're having bacon and eggs for supper. I'm making breakfast for supper.
We had that last week. one night.
Yep, I'm making bacon and eggs for supper.
Night Caesar
But
salad.
another 15 minutes, we're going to call it good, which will be almost 2 hours. But I mean, take everything we talked about today. If you have any questions, suggestions, put it in the when this goes to replay.
Oh.
Put it in the suggestion as a suggestion in the comments. You know, because I read every one of your comments. Okay, I do. That's why I'm 1,476 subscribers or something like that. But there's probably 50 or 60 dedicated people that always watch my videos, comments like that. I'm able to read all my comments, answer questions, heart, like, so you know that I did read your comment. That's what I like. If you get to be 100,000 family subscribers, at that point they become subscribers, because there is no way. I've commented on channels. And this is just kind of like a side note. I've commented on channels that I've asked a question and I've never heard or had acknowledgement that my comment was read. That's why I don't ever want somebody to think that I don't read their comments, because I do. I heart it and I like it, thumb up it. And if it's a question, we're talking about it, Suzanne, for later in the year for socks, Christmas socks. But
I want to show my thing. I'm looking at.
Those two books I showed you, it's something we'll talk about over the next couple of months, of doing a make along, because I bought one knit and one crochet, 100 each. So that would be 2 squares a week. And Nessa, exactly, Nessa. It makes you feel like you inspired somebody, and that's what I hope I do. I inspire somebody. I don't know, I'm not a designer. I've only had a couple designs and only one that I've published. But I hope that if I show a particular pattern by another designer, and I try to make sure I'm imperfect. I sometimes forget to put it in the description box, but usually I try to mention when I'm showing one of my projects who the designer is, free pattern, paid for pattern, whatever, that it inspires somebody to go and try that pattern, check that designer out. I want to thank those that have gone over to Lindsay at Knit Eco Chic. Demetra's testing for her now. I want to thank all of you, because I so believe in her designs. They are so gorgeous and so, wow, engineered masterpieces, because it's just not a pattern. She engineers these phenomenal designs. And, so that's one of the things that I hope I put forward when I do a whips and finished objects video, or I'm just talking like here amongst you guys, we're talking, and you hear me mention a channel or a designer. And these are people that I have done their patterns. I've tested for them, because I believe in their designs and their method, their approach to how they do it. The one thing this is just me personally, there are a few designers I just said to them, because when I reached out for pattern help, silence, crickets. Guess what? Tear the pattern up. I'm done with you. I have a pattern 3 or 4 years ago called the Wyvern, and I printed it up. It's a knitted dragon.
Oh yeah,
dog.
I have that one too.
Wings, and I mean it's the pattern's like that many. It's like that thick. Not yet, Suzanne. We're just putting it out there. We haven't really decided. One of the things Zara had said before I left for Australia was about doing a sock along.
Yeah.
Knitting socks. So that's one of the things we're thinking about. Because with Happy Mail Advent and the year of the pattern, and everything that's going on, and hashtag work the whips, getting my big projects, because I did that video that I was transparent. I showed you all my whips, but half of them are 50% or over, and that I'm trying to get through by the end of this year. Not to say that I'm not doing other projects in between, but I'm making a concentrated effort to get these done. Example, the Cable Crush joggers. You you guys know when I started that, and it's just stockinette stitch for 38 inches or whatever it was. So that's what we're doing. But excuse me. But I'm just gonna go for a minute. I'm just gonna go tell Barb I'll be out in a little bit, but I'm just gonna put the bacon on to start cooking. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sis, would you take over, please?
Yes. Okay. I want to show you my progress on my what is it? It's like a sweater. I got a bit more done. Like one of these is like from where? Okay, so from around here, that line, this line, to just down here is the repeat. And so I'm doing like I think 6 total repeats. But I'm loving this. There's a lot of different like each row is different, which is great. And yeah, like I made a couple boo-boos, but oh well. I'm the one that's going to be wearing it. So, and I've had people say like, that's okay. No worries. But yeah, somebody's saying like, please remember to do thumbs up. So that helps Darlene. Thanks, Dragon. But yeah, that was a chart that Jill, I mentioned her earlier, that I'm taking a few of her classes online. And I showed her this and I said I asked if she could help me with it because it was a chart. And I'd never done charts. I didn't know how to read them. So with her help, she wrote it out for me. And then I went through and then I rewrote it to fit more of myself into it. So yeah, but the pattern, it's so tiny. There's no way you could actually sit there and try to read that. Like, look how tiny that is. That's a 30-row repeat there. There's no way. No way whatsoever that you'd be able to sit there and read that. So you have to like type it out, right? But yeah, I really like it. It's really nice. It came in a kit from We Are Knitters. So it's just like a loose sweater.
Okay,
so, but I'm really enjoying it. Oh, hello, people that's coming in.
Welcome in, Lisa. Welcome in.
Yeah.
A lot of Canadians in here today.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. I was telling you, Manelli had her outfit changed. This is the table I bought. My Addie goes on this. It's a work table.
It's like a sawhorse.
It's actually a work table where you can spread the planks apart. I'll bring Manelli over. I just put this on her. I'll take her hat off. This is a Canadian designer. One of my first sweaters I made. It's called cuff to cuff cables. The cables go from one cuff across the neck to the other. It's a boat neck. I did this in Barcelona called Dusk, and I love the yarn. I think I have 2 skeins of this left, and it's come out so soft. And I do wear this. It's on my list to redo. I have an alpaca yarn in like a grayish purple.
That it turned out beautifully. And that is that the one that your friend wants you? No. Is that the one
they wanted me to make?
Make?
Yeah, they wanted me to make one, but they didn't want to pay for me to make it.
Oh well.
And this is the English Cottage Garden that I tested for Lindsay, made in yarn that Sis gave me. called Blue Sky. It was a knit crate yarn.
Yeah, it was one of the knit crepes.
So that's Manelli.
Yeah, that turned out wonderful.
So I had, thank you, Dranket. Nope, it's not Boucle, Dimitra. It's Barcelona. It's a Loops and Threads. It's a Michaels brand. No, that's that's in one of my bins. I don't think they make Barcelona anymore. It's a great yarn. It's soft. Once I washed and blocked it, so soft. Thank you, Lisa. But you know, I had to put something on Manelli because all she had on was one of my summer turtlenecks. So I went and I dug a sweater out. And I'll change out here or there. Like I'll put the Juliet top on her. I plan on wearing that one night to cards. And there's a few of my makes that I do wear. I have a summer top that I wear. But no, it's it's my happy place. It really is my happy place. The past 23 months, coming up on a rough days coming up.
Yeah. Been thinking about that a lot.
Yeah. You know, Warren will be gone 2 years, February 3rd. I can't believe it's been 2 years that he passed away. I'm coming out of the fog, yes. The trip to Australia was a big help. That was my first downtime since his passing. And a lot of insight, reflection, decisions that were made. And
that movie, was it Eat? What was that?
Eat, Sleep, and Pray.
Yes.
All right, Doris. Love you too, dear. Have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Have a good one.
You know, I got Donnie's birthday in March. There's just some days that I get really, and sometimes I come on here because it's the only way I can deal with it. I'm feeling so sad and lonely. And then I come here and my fiber family's there. And I don't make, talking about it helps process.
Yes.
Okay, Nessa. You guys, I'm old. I'm going to be 64 in April. I put in for my CPP, which is my pension, my retirement here in Canada, to start in October. So I put in for that. So that's why I'm looking at semi-retiring. I still will always work, teaching a few days here and there, but make my time my own. Make this will never be a job. Make a little bit of money that helps pay for everything back into the channel, pay so I can ship stuff out to you guys. That's a plus. Welcome in, Scrubtastic. Welcome in. I never got my master's. Bachelor's and an AABA. That's what I got. 2 of the degrees I got. I mean, I've got 4, but 2 full degrees. But yeah. So that's going to be coming, and you know, so I'm going to probably plan something that day to just spend some time with you guys and help me work through it. Yeah. But I mean, I smile. I laugh.
You breathe. You get out of bed every day.
1 hour, 1 day, 1 hour, 1 moment. That's how I live my life. You know. No, Suzanne, I'll never totally retire. I'm still going to teach, but I'm going to choose when I work. As long as my bills are paid. I have 2 years to go before my car is paid off and my student loans paid off. 2 years. By the time I'm 60, 65, it'll be paid off. I'll work on the ferry once in a while, you know. But
not
right
on
now,
those rough days though.
Oh God, no. And I really like to have the summer off so I can spend the summer in my pool.
Yes.
But you know, it's I want to do more for the channel, you know. This has been a very, like I said, 5.5 year journey doing the channel, and I want to see it grow. You know, like I said, do the tutorials, work on having a retreat in a couple years here on the island. You know, all kind of things. So, and planning another trip back to Australia. You know, I may I may Well, Priest, you can be part of our community, hon. Gender doesn't matter here.
No.
If you love yarn and you love fiber arts, you love the community, you're part of the family.
He's my family.
Oh, wow, Nessa. Cool. See you next live, Priest. Thank you, dear. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you. See, thanks to Priest there. That's more shipping money. So that's what it all goes to. My first check, whatever it is on its way from the channel. I'm going to show you my receipt. I don't get revenue from ads. Mine is strictly super chats, super thanks, and super stickers. My members are through the Ko-Fi platform. That pays for StreamYard. So, yeah. But I mean, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing.
It's such an uplifting community.
You make me feel like I count, that I belong.
You do.
You know? And it's just an amazing community that we have here. And you know what I'm thankful about here? We have no drama here. If it comes in, we quickly get rid of it. And we can just come here and just talk and chat, laugh. We've cried. You guys have cried right along with me. Share our makes, tips, tricks, deals on yarn, or other things.
Being
enablers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nessa. And like I said, I watch Nessa. She's always, I mean, I watch these channels, and male and female content creators, and they're very inspiring to me. I mean, I wish there was like 5 of me that I could make all the things I want to make. But
oh yeah, I need more.
But it's just me. So, one day at a time.
I keep teasing him, saying, "You want to try this?" If he's sitting on the sofa with me, I say,
"Yeah,
here, would you like to try this?"
Yeah, Warren wouldn't try it.
No, he won't try it.
For those of you who know, sis, she's my little sis. Mimi, special connection because her husband and Warren served together in the military. I mean, they go way back. They were here for his service, and I could never express what it meant for them to be here.
I wish I could have been there.
Well, you had Dean's mom, or dad going on.
Yeah.
And
Mimi, Marlene, and I were our first Advent mail.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, one of the other things I'm going to be able to do is hop in my car and drive up to Doketown, or drive to Ontario, or drive to Nova Scotia, because I have found, too, there are quite a few people that come, fiber family members, that are from Nova Scotia, that are from Ontario, and have a meetup and enjoy it. Go for a couple days.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I look forward to, and I thank all the content creators that have been out there cheering me on and helping me grow and all that. It's a wonderful group of people. And like other people in here that have said, they have purged their drama channels. They're gone.
It is beautiful here.
Golden Age, I was just in BC. I was in Vancouver. But next time I fly to Australia, I'll have to give you a call. We'll hook up in BC. I was going to try to call Gary from Urban Yarn and hook up with him, but I only had a 5-hour layover on the way out.
Oh.
Well, exactly, Mimi. And Mimi's got an Airbnb up in Doketown that, let me tell you something, it'll give a 5-star hotel run for it. Is gorgeous. Her and Bruce built it. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And Mimi, are you going to be you're on Airbnb, right? So people can book it to come there? All right, Jen. Thank you so much for coming, dear. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
cooking
have a
stuff.
wonderful
I'm
day.
getting ready to end this. We've been on almost 2 hours, so I'm where we're at here. I'm going to kind of wrap everything up here. I am going to schedule the live for next Sunday, so you'll have advance warning. Today was just a pop up. Okay, I'm going to schedule the live now. During the week, I may have a pop up. You never know. It could be as early as 7 o'clock in the morning. You never know. So I just close my door and close myself in here, and yeah, and hopefully that whip tire will get emptied out. And because I have timeout ones are
Eventually
here.
it will, but then you'll have to add stuff on to it just because you are
A multitasker. I have always been a multitasker. My mom told me as a kid. Oh, I know, Golden Age. I know. I'm gonna go buy some forever stamps because I do send out cards and stuff sometimes. I'm not the best at sending them out, but I try to remember. But I like to have them on hand, so I get the forever stamps before they hike up because the forever stamps.
When are they going up?
Yeah, yeah, because I use SnapShip with Canada Post. That's how I ship all of my, because we don't have pirate ship like they have in the States, and Canada Post really is the best way to ship. I ship my thing. I get a little discount. Good night, Mimi. Thank you, dear. Give Bruce a big hug for me, please. Give him a big hug for me.
Night.
You guys all, I got a message. I'd have to look through my emails, but it's sometime this month, January 24th or something like that. They're going up.
Oh. Just before payday, man.
Yeah, really. But yeah, so listen, check out these other channels. And support them. And when I say support them, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Go watch them, leave a thumbs up, and leave a little emoji or a comment for them because that helps the algorithm find you. I actually come up in somebody's feed, which surprised the crap out of me because I'm so small. But hey, I might be somebody's cup of tea, and then I'm not somebody's cup of tea.
You're my cup of tea, big sis.
Spotty, but
or coffee.
I know. Yeah, actually, I think it's going to be $1.41. Golden Age is the exact amount, $1.41. Right now, they're $1.14 for Canada Post for one. It's going up to $1.41 just to send a card or a letter. That's why I pay all my bills online. I pay all my bills online. Mm-hmm. All right, listen. You guys know what I say. I hope wherever you're at, you're staying safe, you're healthy, you're happy. Doing what it is that makes you happy. And remember, hug, smiles, and happiness. Pass it on. Make the world a better place each and every day. Be a light in somebody's dark day. Here's bye for now from Deer Island.
And Nova Scotia.
See you in the next video, the next live, the next post. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming so much. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day and evening. I'll be watching your videos, and I listen to you guys at night when I'm going to sleep. I always put somebody on to listen to, so you never know who I'm going to be listening to at night, but I do listen to everybody. Love you all, and I'll see you later. I got to cook supper. I got to feed the house. Oh, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Lisa was lurking. Did you hear us talking about you, Lisa? But no, I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Yes. And I'm going to get a hold of Dee's Creations, Lady Bird, and get the number for YouTube and call and find out why my content. I don't know if anybody else's channel, my comments are getting hidden, but they're hidden on her channel. They just delete me. Oh, wow. I don't know if somebody reported me for something or what. I don't know, but you guys take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.